Lucky Lefty podcast, the Onora Boys in the building, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly.
Hey, I'm not saying get up on ya. We can hear the angels calling us. We can see the sunrise before us. And when I'm in that thing, I make that body say, I make it say, we.
Make sure you subscribe. YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you go to CFB Nation, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify audio every day. Left, it's a lot to talk about, man. I want to apologize to the fan base, first of all, man, because, my time zone, I was all messed up today, bro.
That's okay. That's okay.
We knew we were going to do an afternoon show. And then I told you, like, we're going 2:30 your time. And I messed around and posted it at 3:30 Chicago time, which is 4:30 Chicago time. So that's my bad to everybody out there, man. Forgive me, guys, for posting the wrong time. What we're going to get to today, Left, we'll see if you have anything left in that Mike Denbrock notebook. And we went through one page.
That's right. That's
we only
right.
went through one page. We'll get a little bit deeper into the Mike Denbrock notebook. We're going to talk about the O-line, right? One of the major areas as fall camp begins on tomorrow morning. One of the major areas that everybody's going to want to hear about, and one of the major areas that, I would probably say is if you're going to have a concern left, I guess you can have a concern. It's funny. We'll get into it because I understand why people have concerns. I don't have concerns, bro.
So you're not worried about it, is what you're saying?
Do you think Beyonce worries about checks? And maybe this is not apples to apples. Do you think Jay worries about checks? And my point is that people that have consistently done what they do you think they worry about success?
See, but that's what they say. They say you sleep on it.
No. My thing is the success might not be in the same form. See, that's what people see. They're used to success.
Success rate, it comes in different sizes. That's
the success was through the Martins, right? Then all of a sudden it was like, oh man, they're gone. Oh, here comes the next two. Oh man, we lost these two offensive linemen. Oh, here come the next two. Oh, well, what are we going to do without Jared Patterson's leadership? We just put two guys in.
You want the guy that was getting the false starts on senior day?
I'm just saying that was one of the
issues,
right? And we put here comes two tackles. We're putting this in. No, I'm not worried, Left. No. Why would I worry about something that has been a constant and consistent producer of good players? No, I'm not worried. No. I haven't seen consistent game-breaking plays at safety. I haven't.
Yes, you have, because Xavier Watts won the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Have we seen that longer than we've seen offensive linemen in Notre Dame?
Offensive linemen, you gotta go decades.
I said that's what I'm saying.
Look,
I'm not worried about the safety position, but I just happen to use that. People used to be worried about this literally 2-3 seasons ago. You said it the other show we had last week. The cornerback position was a huge issue for Notre Dame fans. Huge every year.
You
worried about that now?
First it was quarterback, and then we couldn't stop the pass.
Yeah.
So now it's quarterback. Now it's not quarterback. It's not DBs. We have overly addressed the DBs. We got a great DB coach, couple first rounders, a defense player of the year. That's what we call change.
Mm-hmm.
But receivers hasn't gotten there quite yet. But we've seen us take steps towards the future.
In totality, fans should be more worried about wide receiver in its totality, from evaluation, recruiting, development, and production, than offensive line. In my opinion, I know with that factory up there in South Bend, I know what they're going to produce on offensive line. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to come about, but I have full confidence that in 2 years, it's going to be a couple of cats being drafted off this offensive line.
Yeah, it's just we've installed that foundation.
Yeah,
can you say that? The tight ends you just gotta get to school.
Yes,
you get to school as a tight end. That's it.
That's it. Remember when we lost Mitchell Evans to the injury, and people were like, "Oh man!" Next thing you know, Eli Raridon's supposed to be the next one to step up. And next thing you know, we're hearing about Cooper Flanagan putting in work in this spring. Putting in work. Why? That's just
as tight ends. You just got to get there. It's something that the pot at the end of the pot at the end of the rainbow. Something in there for tight ends, real special.
Yeah,
I mean, greatest football name on the football team, Jack Larson. I'm expecting him to make some impact and be involved in the offense this year.
Yeah, man. It is. I understand because it's an unknown. It's an unknown. So I understand. You don't know, you haven't seen it. So I understand. Like, I haven't seen it, but I'm like, I'll give you a perfect example, bro. I had never seen, it's like going from watching somebody playing college. And I'm going to become part of Clutch Sports right now in this moment. I'm going to join your team right now, Left. I'm going to join your team.
Thank you. Finally, you're gaining the right sports sense.
Hold on, it's limited access though. Relax. It's limited access. Relax. I'm only part of the team for like 5 minutes. Relax. But no. Seriously. I just look at sports like this. Maybe I just have an eye for certain things. And for me,
that can happen.
Notre Dame offensive linemen are the obvious for me, bro. They're the
1,000%.
They're the obvious for me when it comes to Notre Dame and the program. They're the
obvious. Like, we've been so good and consistent at O-line. It's starting to become unusual when we don't have, all-star guys coming down the pipe, or it's unusual that we're this good for this long. We done rotated coaches a couple times, still had success. We done brought in transfers, had some success. We done any adaptation that you would have to make in college football, the O-line has made those changes. And it's still been uniquely successful with that. I mean, just the amount of guys we're putting out every year, coach or not a coach, which we talked about a lot of other positions, quarterback being one of them, was a huge difference when you didn't have one, as opposed to getting one in a Gino Guidugli who makes life different for quarterbacks in that room. Conversely, or a main point in why quarterback coaches make a difference is Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight didn't see the infrastructure with the previous offense coordinator because we didn't have anything, which I think we got that from the O-line. O-line, just 5 guys that show up at practice. Those guys are doing their job. Now everybody else stems off of that. And I think, shout out, credit that he stands for getting those guys in that mode where this is how you change it. So the seniors, right? They go through the year, but they're teaching the young guys that are coming up. See, it's each one teach one, pass one, reach one, that whole thing. So when guys are passing on info, Q is looking at the Ronnie Stanleys. Ronnie Stanleys was looking at the Zacks, right? The Chris Watts, and it goes down the line. So guys that are doing the right thing. Like, remember, when Houston was here, Zach Martin, 10 years in the league, coming back to Notre Dame talking to guys. That's how you keep the thing going.
Facts.
That's how you keep it going. When they be like, man, Charles Jackson coming there and say, Zach Martin came back and Ronnie's talking to me. Oh, McGlinchey's in here. Yeah, so these are the reasons why success is prolonged, even after the coaches and the star players are there, because they've been teaching one and reaching one. So what hasn't happened for us is we haven't had that. I haven't seen TJ Jones, DeVaris Daniels, Will Fuller. I've seen Tim Brown maybe once. Ever come back to the receiver room? Shit, I saw Maurice Stovall one time. Golden Tate never. Man, these are the greats that come out of the room. These are the greats. Michael Floyd never comes back. So
Well, hey, Joe just came back for the first time last year, right? At the USC game.
Yeah. So it's like, don't be surprised if we don't have a roadmap to successful receivers. Because the ones that were successful never come back and tell us how they did it. That's a distinct difference.
Oh, that's telling. That's telling. I never left. That's good information, bro. That's
I mean, you walk in the building, you might see.
And by no means am I telling fans that there are no question marks on the offensive line. That's
right.
That's not what we're saying. By all
our
means,
offensive line is floating above. Like our average offensive line is the best of college football's thing. So when we're average, which is 80% better than the rest of college football, people on our side are like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because it's been such a staple. Like you don't think about nothing else other than Notre Dame offensive line when you think about Notre Dame. That's probably why receivers and DBs and quarterbacks aren't eyes lighting up when they hear Notre Dame, because the first thing you think about is somebody blocking. First thing you think about, somebody blocking or somebody taking a handoff in 13 and 12 personnel. Thanks a lot to Jared Parker for that.
Yeah. And then, look, we know that Billy Strouf, Ashton Craig, there's going to be a battle at left guard. Rocco Spindler, Sullivan Apsher, somebody to watch. Pat Coogan, who, really got a lot of action last year, just didn't stand out. Looking for him to improve. Rocco needs to take the reins, right? I think Rocco is in a situation left similar to Justin Fields, which has just been gifted 5 consecutive days with the first string due to an injury.
They're not gonna do that to Russell Wilson.
But my point is, that's a gift, bro. You don't get that as the backup. 5 straight days at the beginning of the camp with the ones, that's a gift.
It doesn't happen.
But even if you don't start the season, you definitely put pressure on the start. Like Russ doesn't walk into the season with the same leash that he possibly could have walked in with, right?
And that's just in general. It's hard to it's hard for anybody to motivate yourself more than a competition would.
Yeah.
Directly or indirectly. You're gonna come in prepared and you're gonna train hard in off season. But it's just those little extra kicking your butts when they're like, oh yeah, we're bringing in this ringer to take your spot. Mm-hmm. And now you're like, okay, I'm working hard, but I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. Like that just pushes you a little bit more. And I don't really like that for where college football is in the quarterback position, but everywhere else is cool. The quarterback position, not so much, only because it's like, listen now, we playing with the money. This is not a free-for-all thing. These are heads of your company, face of your program. Those aren't up for grabs. Those are, appointed positions. Just like the head coach. The head coach has to be the head coach. It can't be a gambit of coaches trying to do the head coach job. Just can't do that. Just imagine we had Brian Kelly and then Marcus Freeman being the head coach. They just what? Like, what direction do you go? So it's all the way about you can't serve two masters, and it definitely applies to the quarterback room, which is why I think it should be carried differently. But everywhere else, it makes sense. Competition is going to stimulate to be a little bit better. Hell, Michael Jordan was so good, he had to make up stuff. He had to make up beef. Just imagine everybody adores you so much that in order for you to get better, you have to make up beef that people never did just to get you a little bit better. That's crazy.
Man, let me tell you something. That competition is something where even if you feel like going into fall camp, someone is ahead, right? You still that's why I love people and we'll get to this a little bit later in the show, talking about the quarterbacks and intel that we've heard about the quarterback position. Like, yo, that's all a part of life and competition. Like, even if somebody's better, like, yeah, you can be better, but hey, I'm gonna make you earn this. You gonna earn
Cat
this.
Williams said, when we get on that line, we're gonna have to line up.
Line up. You gotta earn this, and that makes the collective better. But see, this is about the collective, bro. I know we're talking about O-line battles at positions, but it's all about coming out of fall camp being better as a collective, as a group, especially at offensive line. That's paramount. So you would love to hear that everyone along that offensive line is getting better. Everybody, even Charles Jagusah, who you know is the left tackle. You know he's the left tackle. You definitely want him to get better in fall camp. And according to reports and intel, that dude is being seen as a day one left tackle. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I understand the unknowns. But when people flat out ask me, man, are you worried about the offensive line? Worried. Like, you know the definition of worried? Like, there's some unknowns, some variables I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that there's top talent at that position. And I'm pretty sure, too, of these kids in that room in 2 years or so, possibly going to be walking across the stage and shaking the hand of the commissioner of the National Football League. It's Roger Goodell now. I don't know if he's going to be that guy coming up. And then left, forget, dude, when you got Peter, man, look. Oh, man. Just think about the 3 offensive linemen they got coming in next year. This is why I don't worry, Left. Just, dude, ask me if I'm worried about the defensive line at Alabama. Ask me.
I don't think they've ever had.
Ask me if I'm worried about the defensive line at Georgia. Replacing all the
stars. Especially after they had that crazy defense. Yeah. But that's the thing. So
they lost all that talent to the NFL. Man, I knew Georgia was going to have a top 5 defensive line. Like what?
Every time, and it's even to the point where they're grabbing 4 or 5 stars every year. So even if you lose a couple, you're like, we're good. We're good.
And for those people that feel like Charles Jagusah is an NFL top 60 pick.
You gotta think.
Wait. At guard and tackle. At guard and tackle. He could be a top 60 pick in the NFL draft, right? So people are like, I think he'll be better at left guard.
He could do either one. Either one.
Who knows? But guess what? He's the best tackle on the team.
Easily.
All right.
Easily.
That's it. As a true freshman, he established himself as the best tackle on the team with 2 veterans in front of him that are not vying for the starting right tackle spot. And then they have to hold off. Guess who they have to hold off? A true freshman that showed up. A true freshman that showed up. The wealth of riches. The wealth of riches.
We've gotten to the point where we're so good at recruiting this O-line thing that hiring Rudolph was genius because he just evolved what we lacked, what you could say lacked at the O-line, to now is just unfair. Before, you could say that we lacked a consistent height of 6'5" and over. You bring in Rudolph, your average is 6'8", 6'7". 300 pounds is the average. That's what that next step. So now we're recruiting guys at left and right tackle and O-line that's coming in ready to play in the NFL in a year. Not oh, we're developing guys. Yeah, we're developing, but the players we're getting in, just like Georgia. Except it's defensive. They're gonna get a defensive end fresh out of high school that's ready to go to the NFL in a year.
I would love to get the same vibe on the defensive line.
We get the left tackle out of high school that's ready to go to the league in a year. They get the defensive end or that 3 tech. So it's the difference. What a great defensive line can do compared and how it helps recruiting too.
Yeah.
Compared to what the great recruitment of an O-line gets you. It's like it's good, but it's also a double-edged sword. Yeah, you're going to get the best tackles and guards and centers in America. But that perception, You may not get the popping 5-star. You may not get that top 5 player in the country. But when you get consistently 5 stars, DNs, D tackles, and go from there, you just get a better turnover. I don't know if it's like we at the wrong well. We gotta go to the one over here because that one's gonna get you the biggest return. The one we getting is good though, so it's hard to complain. The one we're getting is good, but the one down the street, that one, give a little bit more benefit.
If you are a high school offensive lineman that is a 4 or 5 star, and Notre Dame has interest in you,
it's no question.
My advice to you is, if you like Notre Dame, make your decision real quick. Make your decision real quick.
Yeah, Notre Dame is not a place you can just say, I'm gonna wait till the signing
you're
day.
not at offensive line. No, I'm gonna take this into the fall. No, you're not.
Juniors are committing.
The spots are filling up real fast. Like, no,
I think the change happened when CJ Carr committed early.
No, I was before that.
As a junior.
It was before that.
For the O-line? I mean, I haven't seen O-line.
As far as committing early? Yeah.
The O-line the O-line is committing like early. Like, this is unusual. Like guys are just like, we can't let these offers just sit here. We gotta accept.
No, I think that was Harry coming back. Yeah, because CJ Jagasaw committed.
He stands last year.
Yeah, he committed early. And that was before. No. CJ might have committed first, but I would definitely give more credit to Harry on that recruitment over CJ committing. Not to say CJ's commitment wasn't part of the reason or part of the thought process, but I mean, ultimately it came down to Harry Heastand, Notre Dame, and Sharon Moore at Michigan, bro. Charles Jagasaw wasn't going to lose either way. He was going to an offensive line factory either way. Oh, I mean, so no, I mean, Michigan's going through the same issue this year, right? They lose 2 offensive linemen.
They're going through the same thing. Michigan's going through the same thing.
And both got drafted. One was injured. And the leadership, who's going to step up, is going to be leader. Dude, that's what they do. They produce offensive linemen. They run the ball successfully. It's the one thing they've been able to do. And they were able to win a national championship doing so, because the quarterback was college football. Right? We're going to get to this as well. Second half of the show, ladies and gentlemen, this ESPN top 20 college football players since in the 2000s.
Since the 2000s.
Yeah, they need to really, I don't know who they had ranking these. Yeah. We're going to get to that. Some questions need to be asked. Lucky Lefty podcast. So we have Emil Wagner going into the break after the spring, I would venture to say, was not the starting right tackle. But, it's going to be very interesting to see how the right tackle situation, how it plays out. If you are Riley Leonard, do you feel more comfortable with a strong interior? I know this is a stupid question. I don't even know why I'm asking this question, because I already know as a quarterback what you're about to say, Lev. But the tackles are the unknowns, and I guess the interior of the offensive line has more actual playing time and experience at Notre Dame. As an offensive line coach, would you much rather have I think the more talent is at tackle, less experience, and then more experience, less high-end talent at the guard position? Would you have a preference as an offensive coordinator or coach, looking at that type of situation? I'm interested in how that would play out. Let us know what you think in the chat. If you had to choose between the two, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the uber talent at the interior of the offensive line or at the tackle positions, even though they might be inexperienced?
Tackle positions, because it's a beautiful process to watch the tackle positions grow through the year, right? Nobody wants to see somebody struggle at quarterback and grow through that. Nobody wants to see that. But a tackle growing through the year, okay, and it's play-by-play change, right? So technique-wise, you can adjust something and fix your whole game. Quarterback-wise, you mess up, it's like it's a decision. It's not so much of a physical technique. It's like decisions between the space between your ears is more critical and valued different than a guy getting beat off the edge. Where a young tackle, because you're always encouraged by the young tackle. Oh, this young tackle just 17, 18 years old, holding his own against the number one scary monster defense or whatever, right? And then that year two process goes from, oh, he was just young and inexperienced, but he had talent, to, oh man, this is maturity. He's the leader of the team. It's like the development process for O-line is way more edible, way more, how do you call that? Easy on the ears. More fits the football, the good old college tribe than quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is an unrealistic expectation of stuff that most people can't do consistently anyway. So, everybody's gonna have something to say about the quarterback because they swear they can do it, but they can't do it. They swear it looks easy, it's really hard, and then so that's always an ugly process. Like I feel bad for Caleb Williams because you don't, unless he hits like CJ Stroud, it's just not going to be fair for him because he's not going to go undefeated. So he's going to lose a game or two or three. But losing and mixing it with, it's just, Chicago is not very forgiving. Y'all very similar to Philadelphia. You're just not going to let anybody be in there. So to answer your question, definitely go with tackles. It's crazy. Charles Jackensaw is the best tackle debatably in the country, definitely on the team, and he's only a sophomore.
Boy, look at you, Hub Notre Dame. Boy, you just threw that dude at the top of the tackles in the country. That dude is loyal. That dude is loyal. Hey, man, they need to hire you, boy. I'll tell you something. They need to bring you to South Bend, boy. Because you talk about marketing and branding.
I'm not going to say the best.
Branding.
Not going to say the best.
When it comes to Notre Dame.
But okay, let's be honest, though. You make it to Notre Dame, you already in the top 50 O-linemen in the country. By just committing and sitting in the room, you're top 50.
Facts.
Because to be in the room, you got enough talent to be like, okay, you'll be playing on Sundays. It just ranks from there. Now, 2 years in a Notre Dame O-line room, you're easily top 25 O-linemen in the country. Oh,
I would go top 15.
Okay, yeah.
If you're starting for 2 years in Notre Dame, yeah. I might even bump it up to top 10.
I might even bump it up to top. No, seriously, I might even bump it up to top 10 if you can get three.
And that's backed up for over a decade. That's backed up for over a decade.
It's over. We can pull out the chart and extrapolate. What do you say? We can project, and the trajectory is crazy.
Yeah.
And this is from first rounders. We've had third rounders. We got guys that were supposed to be first rounders and walked away. I mean, we've had everything you could have wanted. So success comes in different sizes. And I think the bigger successes that we want to see come from the rest of the team stems from the O-line. Like, yes, the O-line, they're the standard. And it's good because they're in-house. So we can see the process of a young freshman like Tommy Eichenberg. Just wet behind the ears, still soft body. Mm-hmm. They don't got no stubble. He get around them buffaloes in the room. And you know how they go in packs.
Right.
So
they definitely move in packs. Definitely.
So about a year after that, there's a Tommy grown man. He traveling with the buffalo. He got he got to get a haircut. Man, just So it's like it's the right process that I think that Notre Dame is instilled in that offensive line, which is to our discredit. We can't get over that being the main focus of the team. That can't be the face of recruiting is the O-line. Right. It just can't be.
Not right now.
It's an overpowering perspective. Is that even top recruits are like, man, Notre Dame's great. I love the offer, but man, their O-line is just the first thing that pops up. And that's not a sexy thing. It's just not sexy. Like, you're not thinking like Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. Oh, okay, nice. Travis Etienne. Ooh, boom. Notre Dame's just like, oh, you got Mike McGlinchey, which is not bad. Mike McGlinchey's $100 million guy.
No, we get defensive backs in that top 100 now.
Okay, yes.
Julian, Kyle. Things starting to change. Along with the offensive line, that NFL top 100.
Yeah. Hey, I'm showing Julian
still this year, the two guys that went high. Tackles.
Kyle Hamilton. He in there. They got him as a top 10 safety already.
They lowballed him, bro. On that NFL top 100. Oh yeah, they definitely lowballed. There's some safeties I know that were in front of him that I know he's better than.
I don't know. Yeah. Jesse Bates is good.
He should have stopped playing with me. That's that Cincinnati bias coming through.
Wait a minute. Jesse Bates is number one safety in the Jesse Bates is number one safety in the league right now.
Lucky Lefty podcast. I'm not getting into that right now. We'll wait for the NFL season 2 approach. We'll get into that argument. Lucky Lefty.
I'm just saying he's ranked number one.
Let me ask you this, because it's going to be very interesting when they go to College Station, bro, August 31st. I want to, as a quarterback and an offensive coordinator, like take us into the mind of Mike Denbrock, because you have this inexperienced offensive line. How do you want to ease them into the game? Are you thinking Texas A&M is going to try to stack the box, get us in 3rd and long with this offensive line? So we need to try and hit them over the top early and back them off, or do we need to ease them into the game and get 3rd and shorts and make it easy? Like, take us in the mind of Mike Denbrock and this coaching staff and how they might be approaching going into this SEC road game to start with a slightly inexperienced, an inexperienced offensive line.
Yeah, from a totality standpoint, definitely more inexperienced. But the things you got to look at are the talent is there though. Mm-hmm. So easing guys in that are very talented isn't a hard thing to do. It's just more about having the confidence that they're prepared going in. So especially the fact that we can run the football. If I'm Denbrock, I'm like, let these guys get warm. Let's just start road grading guys. We're at away game, first game of the year, guys' feelings, little on edge. It's just like getting that first hit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm locked in. O-line, we're gonna roll block you. We're gonna roll you a little bit. You want to avoid being in 3rd and 8+ situations where you're obvious pass. Just because the game environment, you got defensive ends that are pinning their ears back. You don't want to lose faith in an offensive line's one-on-one game. If you caught passing the football all day, and you're just giving up one-on-ones, and it be little things. Like, obviously, them being young, they're not going to have all the technique down. So I'm not going to go in there with the mindset of, oh, we need these guys to protect up front, and if they don't block, we don't have successful plays. We have enough players where if I'm Denbrock, I'm thinking, how many ways can I get enough guys to football? Like, I'll have a number on the board and be like, 10 different guys need to touch the ball because we have that much talent. So that's what I'm focused on. It's 10 different guys. So we can run it, we can throw it, we can play action it, we can screen it, we can hand it off. How many different ways can I get as many guys on the field? So when it comes to offensive line, that's easy, because then it's just about how quick can I get it. So it goes to how many can I get the football to in a game plan, and then it's how quick can I get it to them. So for our offensive line, running the ball is going to be a constant. If you can establish the run, everything else is like, okay, we may throw, if we establish the run really well, we may throw what? Down the field, like regular pass plays 30% of the time. 30% of the time. Now we'll pass in other forms, but just a straight drop back, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, which is scanning the field. Guys got to really protect for 2.5, 2.9 seconds. That's a 30% of the game plan. Because one, college football, just like how football is offensively now, there's 1 million things you can do. 1 million things you can do. So getting sacked is like at the bottom of the list. Like there's no way you get sacked with so many different ways you can attack defenses. So with the amount of playmakers that we have, getting the ball out fast is what matters. Getting the ball out fast is what matters. So that helps the offensive line because then you start considering 30% is when you really have to like hunker down and block somebody.
It's crazy because I had this conversation, which I'm going to let you know. Finish your statement because I want to add to it on the back end because you were about to go somewhere else.
The other 70% is fun. Some strings, you're running, some play action. So it's so many different things that are happening outside of them thinking, Charles Jackson, I was like, man, it's going to be a tough day because I know I got to block this dude one-on-one 50% of the day because we got to throw it. Well, with all these playmakers of Chris Mitchell, you got your tight ends, you got your running backs, Darian Price. How much does a Charles Jackson have to worry about blocking going into the game when he knows we're just tossing it to Jadarian? When we're just doing little quick stiff to Chris Mitchell. When we're using our young guys, Jaden Greathouse and this, that, and the third. And so for us, as long as my O-line is thinking 30%, I really got to hunker down and block somebody and everything else is just about playing fast and not hesitating, I feel like that's our advantage. Because then talent will take over. As long as you don't have to put yourself in a box where you're like, man, this is our best O-lineman, and the only way we can score points is by throwing because we can't run the ball. So that takes away from the offensive line. You know what I mean? So because we're so balanced, 30% of the passes are the only focus on what the O-line to think of. Everything else, we're getting the ball out fast and we're playing and having fun.
Left, you just said something that kind of backs up and supports what I say all the time. I don't know an offensive line that's had the most pressure on them over the last decade in the nation than Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Notre Dame is offensively. Notre Dame's not scoring unless the offensive line plays well.
Do you realize we've said that every time, every big game?
Period. And what you just pointed out and laid out, the approach that should be taken going into the Texas A&M game is what Alabama and Georgia. They have so much talent. Their offensive line. That's why they stink when they get to the NFL.
That's why they stink. Yes,
because they haven't really done anything.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything, bro.
Because the other team is trying to chase all the fast players you guys have, and then all you guys do, then you rest on the morals of being big as hell.
Just big. And just
so you already was 6'7", 300 coming in,
that's one thing the offensive line in Notre Dame is going to be this year. Bigger.
Big as hell, yes.
Bigger.
Oh, man.
And hopefully they can wear on teams. Hopefully they go down in the heat and have Texas A&M. Man,
because our center's 6'5".
At the deep end. Yeah,
right?
Ashley Craig is a big dude.
So
he's a big dude. He's a biggin.
You got a 6'5" center.
Yeah.
Everything else is, we're good. We're good. Because you're going to average some 6. Honestly, we'll have size comparable to the basketball team. In that front five. For sure. Like, we can go. So I do think that the biggest difference between this year and last year is the sheer size that Rudolph has added. We don't have no more 6-foot monsters or 6'2" stout Quentin Nelson. We probably wouldn't even take Quentin Nelson right now. Just off of an eye test. Now, obviously, Quentin is huge and all that now, but he's 6'2". Marcus Freeman, if that was Marcus Freeman during that time, he was like, I don't know about 6'2", man. I can't even turn on the tape. We turn on the tape to 6'6" and up. We don't even make it past that title card where it says the stats and your grades and how tall. If we look at that height and it says anything under 6'5", we're like, we can't even go to the next one. go to the next film. So I'm saying that size is going to change. It's going to change.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. It's very interesting you talk about that. And as we move from the game plan going into Texas A&M, man, the sun is getting ready to set, so it's in my eye. I'm sorry if it's affecting you guys and your viewing pleasure. But when you talk about this offensive line, like you said, Left, Ashton Craig, great things about him throughout the spring and in the offseason. That right tackle is going to be absolutely, with Tosh Baker, Emil Wagner, Gerby Lambert coming in, it's going to be one of the best things to watch. Absolutely one of the best fall camp battles to watch. And Charles Jagasaw, look, just let him play, man. Just let him play. It took Joe Alt like a game and a half to get comfortable. Look, I remember when Joe Alt made his first start, everybody was like, okay, this dude, he was third string.
Game and a half.
He was third string. Oh my God. Now we're down to our third string tackle. The dude
third string at Notre Dame is first string in most places, dude.
Now he's a fifth overall pick in the NFL draft for 2024. I mean, and then his backup, the starting left tackle originally that got moved to right tackle because he played so well, got drafted along with him. So it is one of those positions at Notre Dame where you have to feel confident, even though it's an unknown. Like, you have to feel confident, right? Especially after last year, I'm not sitting up here fully confident in the quarterback position. I know it's in a much better place.
You can't feel totally confident.
I'm not sitting here, which goes to you just talked about. Young offensive line, quarterback that missed time in the spring. How does that play into communication on the road? Like, how does that play? Being able to check at the line, being able to make the proper checks and do certain things to attack that Texas A&M Aggie defense. Like, all of these things are unknowns going into this game. And like you said, Left, the biggest thing is you have talent. You have talent. You absolutely have talent. So I don't mind having high expectations still, but it's Notre Dame offense. I don't mind saying, look, they should put up 39 again, especially against this schedule. Against this schedule,
we should first
39-40.
First 5 games, we got to be in the 45s. Man. We're in the 45s, first 5. Because come on, bro. Come on. I love Coach Martin at Miami. But come on, dude. There's levels. We have to establish why there's levels to college football.
Facts.
Yes, we all in the same game. But
okay, Michelet. We all in the same game.
but I'm telling you, it's when you play these certain schools, just like in college football 25, play a ranked game on Heisman level in college football 25, and you'll just see the difference. Oh, then Georgia's really like that. So
I know people that scoff at Notre Dame averaging 30. Do you realize Notre Dame averaged 37 points last year with that offense?
We were a slow offense.
Yes, it's like, dude, 2 more points a game. It's not, dude. Have you seen this schedule?
This schedule, it should be microwave games. Like, the game should be over by halftime.
Left, if they don't put up 50 against Northern Illinois, I'm going to have a problem. Because I've been talking big stuff in these Chicago streets.
Listen, I was up at Northern Illinois last year.
Both of my twin sisters went to Northern Illinois.
The
trash talking going on Sunday dinners has been epic. They're like, we going to the game. We got our tickets. Hey, man, y'all might want to sell
you might as well save them. You might as well try to scout tickets because you're going to be leaving by halftime.
Yeah, sell those.
Yeah, sell because, come on.
You'll be on the toll road coming back real quick.
Yeah, you're like, man, I can watch this from home. That's what you're gonna be saying. I can watch this from home. This is a whooping. I already got my pictures in.
You don't want to do that.
It's a long, mad car ride home, bro.
Hey, it's your older brother. If you want to waste your money,
if you want to waste your money, go ahead.
Yeah, you can just watch it on TV. By that, then you can just turn after the first quarter.
You gonna want to. You gonna want to turn. Shit.
Lucky Lefty podcast. When we come back, We'll be right back. And when we come back, yes, we're going to talk about the topic that everybody wants to know about. Yeah, you thought we weren't going to talk about it? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We'll get into Deuce when we come back. And then Left, we'll talk about Left taking my advice and being blessed. Taking my advice, because usually he's the one that talks food on this podcast, but Left heeded my words and ended up being blessed. We'll talk about it on the other side. Lucky Lefty Podcast.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag, because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
You wrap me up in the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, Audio Edibles, Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Our exclusive Deuce Knight interview that we're going to reference is still over there at Patreon.com. YouTube, subscribe, share. Hit the thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate it. Leave your comments, your questions. We respond to all. Lucky Lefty Podcast, home of the misguided passion, forever committed to making sure we spin it different. Left, I heard you had some ice cream this weekend, my brother.
Some ice cream?
Yeah. Didn't you say you
Sorry, not sorry might be one of the most unique, best. I don't know how to explain it, because the flavors aren't like your standard 32 flavors of ice cream.
Right.
So you start seeing some of these flavors, you're like, oh, you know how white people are. You're like, I don't know.
It's a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? You add raisins to the potato salad. Right.
You know, it's a perfect example. It's like it looks exactly like the ice cream on like cartoons and TV. You know what I mean? So like, you know how the colors be purple. Like I don't even know what flavor that ice cream that could be.
Right.
But when you taste it, it's one of those like you taste it and be like, what did I just have? It's one of them. And it's so funny because you know that this is a good place because everybody and their mama's been there. So the workers are like, oh, here we got another one.
We got one. We got us one. Fresh meat. We got us one.
Because the first thing you do, they walk in the door. They're
like, about to turn them out. Hey, we got one. We got to turn them out before he leaves out the door. Absolutely.
They're like, what you want to try as soon as you get there? So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm trying to get some samples. I'm gonna get one in. I'm third sample in. I'm like, I know what I want. You don't have to show me nothing else. So in situations like that, I go big. So I got the waffle cone, double scoop, like huge. Mm-hmm. And you know, I usually don't ice cream. I usually get a couple scoops. Okay, good. Okay, I'm done. I ate the whole thing. Like I didn't want to stop eating.
So you got what did you get? Now, ladies and gentlemen, just for some background, we did the show Friday. I was letting Left know about the cuisines that I fell in love with, and some of the cuisines that I expected, the restaurants that I expected to go to when I was in LA for about 8 days. And I was like, yo, sorry, not sorry. I didn't get to. I didn't get a chance to go to Cerritos. And I was like, how far is Cerritos? And you were like, yo, it's about 25 minutes from where you were. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I'm out there, because I'll be back out there in September. As soon as I get out there, that's one of my first stops. I get a message on Sunday. I'm leaving church. I get a message from this dude. This dude has already gone to Sorry, Not Sorry. And it's like,
because you know, listen, because you know, you be putting me on with the food spots, and I'm not in Chicago, so I can't go see them all. So when you say, right. Oh, I got a spot, I'm gonna go check it out. You know? And then I'm telling you, the ice, it's so funny because it makes me be like, I don't want any other type of regular ice cream. Like you can't go there and be like, let me get some vanilla. They're gonna be like, we don't got vanilla. We got cookie butter swirl. You like, okay, I'll try. So if I had to give it out of 10, definitely 9.5. And the only reason why I didn't give it a 10 is because they don't have regular flavors. So like, let's say somebody want to be regular. I just want to try simple strawberry.
Right.
Now the strawberry they got is fire. You're going, oh my God, this is the best. But it ain't strawberry. It's just not regular strawberry. It's like strawberry mix of something. So I can't give them a 10, but a 9.5 for everything else that you will want from an ice cream.
So you had the bumbleberry cheesecake. Is that the one you had?
It's crazy. That's the first one I tried.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, it was too good that I tried something else. And once I started trying stuff, I was like, I started forgetting what it tasted like.
What do you mean it was too good? It was too good?
It was so good that I was like, okay, I don't want to stop right here.
Oh, because you know they have better.
Because if my first try is fire,
right?
I gotta try some other ones. I can't just.
It's like going to a donut shop, right? You go to a donut shop. It's like if your glaze is terrible, there's no need for me to even go first.
No need to even play with it, right?
Exactly.
This was like, okay, the thing you talked. This the number one thing. Okay, I tried it. It was so good that I had to try other things, and I ended up forgetting. Because I got caught up. I'm like, oh, I'm on my second, third one. I'm like, okay, with that one. Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. So, news broke, drove the Notre Dame fan base message boards all over Notre Dame nation crazy, right? And make sure I'll let you talk about it, Left, because I tend to look at things as a Tregarian. I hope I said that. I fly on dragons, bro. I fly on dragon. Yeah. If I stood before a dragon, no fire would come upon me. That royal blood runs through me, my brother. That royal blood runs through me. You know what I mean? I'll be like your boy that was flying over. You know what I'm saying? Made that cat run out the Vanguard real fast last week. That'll be me acting a fool. But I say that, like you said, never be. It won't be me. But I say that to say this. I just have a bird's eye view of everything concerning Deuce Knight, man. I look at the big picture, and when you look at the big picture, even early on, when Deuce Knight first committed to Notre Dame, I was like, yo, Notre Dame is not about to ease across the finish line with this dude. And this is before the hype came. Because the hype came this summer. The hype came after. Everybody at first is like, who is this?
No,
and then
I'm talking about, I said this when he was struggling on ESPN, when he had transferred to the school in Tennessee. I'm like, dude, Notre Dame's gonna have to fight for this kid.
That's funny because, like you said, that game on ESPN, I think a lot of people saw that and was like,
yeah, they second guessed.
This is the second guess. And they're like, this doesn't look like a Notre Dame recruit. How many times has Notre Dame taken a project at quarterback?
Left, the way he's looking at somebody, he might be putting that project to bed. Well, I feel you. But when we first at the time, yes.
We're like, Notre Dame doesn't recruit guys like this. Because usually they get more polished, like a CJ Carr. Like CJ Carr is the perfect cutout for how you get to Notre Dame. Deuce Knight being I just knew. So I definitely think that to get him then and then to hold on to him now when he's better and teams are coming out of the wazoo for him,
man,
there has to be something that we connect with that other teams don't or don't have enough time to. Yeah. And it's just hard. I know that Deuce probably like, man, I've been committed for so damn long. I have been to South Bend 18, 19 times. I've seen everything you can and more. So some of this could be just the excitement of the recruiting cycle. It's like, oh, shoot, okay, Ole Miss. Oh, shoot, okay. Big time schools, they calling me a 5-star, so. So once again, I referenced, go over to patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Our exclusive interview, 2 parts with Deuce Knight from earlier in this year. He flat out told us, Left, that he's going to continue to take calls from coaches that he has relationships with. He said that on our podcast, Left. Yes, I'm going to take calls. I'm going to continue to talk to coaches.
So number one, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. This is why I say I take the aerial view of how things are, bro. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the play. The game is the game now, bro. Let me tell you something. He could look, I'm looking at it all three levels. Is it a possibility where Deuce Knight could be on something? Maybe. Could he possibly be handling communications a little bit better? Maybe. I'm not privy to all conversations. I'm just not. I'm not. So it would just be conjecture on my part. It would be conjecture, right? What's up, Double R? My boy. I miss you on Mondays, bro. So, yeah, it's all conjecture, bro. So, could he be hustling? I mean, if teams are going to pay me 25 stacks to come on an official visit or unofficial visit.
I mean, come on, dog.
Hey,
you're still a kid.
Hey, I'm just saying, don't knock the hustle.
They say the money's still green at other schools too.
Don't knock the hustle. That's the hustle now, kids.
What we talking about? What we say? What we say? Hey. If I was Dante Moore, I'm gonna call Oregon, send the box, send them before we even get to visit in and send the box. Give me that code, that Nike code for the password. That's what you know. So that's the day and age we living in. You can't avoid that. You can't avoid that.
Don't
and if
hate
you want
the
anybody
players.
to them,
don't hate the players. Hate the game.
I mean, the quarterback game now is, man, you gotta literally have a son, raise him into the stuff, start making the connections early. It's like basketball. A point guard and a quarterback are the same thing in terms of like recruitment and how tough it is and what they. This is not you can't. It's almost like how the NBA is basically, if you're not a former NBA player's son, you're just not going to make it to the NBA. You got like the spots are dwindling, you know.
It's so crazy because as I look at this thing and I see the angst, you know what it is? It's just fear. It's fear. Now, is it credible fear? It's very possible, Notre Dame fans, that it could be credible fear.
It's trauma fear.
It's definitely PTSD for Notre Dame fear. Yes. Definitely.
Oh,
definitely. Yes. Definitely. And I
understand. It's traumatic.
Now, regardless of what you might have heard on message boards and different reports, do I feel like you spoke to him and you speak to him a little bit more via phone and text than I do? The last time I spoke to him was after one of the events he did this summer, and we spoke on IG. So, shout out to him. He follows our IG story pretty consistently. Shout out to him. But he constantly tells you, I'm locked in. I'm like, Lev, you talk to him? Like, hey, man. Yeah, I talked to him. He said he's coming. You know? And what do you want us to do? Do you want us to report what he's telling us? Or do you want us to just be like, oh man, he feeding us some crap?
Hey, you know what? You can let the man wonder. Let the man, have a good process, because nowadays, if he's not 100% sold, hell, he can come next year and then leave the year after. So it's like you can't even. It's like you damn near can't even. Oh man, you can't even.
So it could be, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna lay it all out. This is the aerial view. It could mean nothing. It could be a credible threat. It could absolutely be a hustle. It could absolutely.
It could be all three.
It could
we can be honest, because Duce is looking at the situation like, bro, I'm coming to Notre Dame and they ain't had nothing like me in a long time. This ain't like Alabama where they got Bryce or Texas where they got Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, or they have never had nothing like me for a long time at Notre Dame. So what is my inspiration off of? Brady Quinn? No, I'm faster than him. Ian, I'm bigger, stronger, faster, probably, so it's like he has every right to be like, man, Notre Dame can't support what I'm trying to do in 3 years. Hell, he can look at the offense. I'm not trying to hand the ball off if I'm Deuce Knight all the time. And that's what the negative recruiting can do. I mean, shit, they say if you say something enough, it'll start coming true. The easiest negative recruiting points about quarterback at Notre Dame. Oh, you're not going – well, usually we never recruited his talent. See, that's the other thing. We haven't recruited Deuce Knight talent at quarterback in a long, if ever. Like, let's just be honest. He might unquestionably be the most athletic quarterback we've ever had at Notre Dame, ever. And that just shows you that we haven't brought that type of talent at that position. But that's the truth. If you coming in thinking I can be the greatest athlete at quarterback to ever come through this school, other teams are like, well, you can go off of this model because we know how to handle your type of athlete at Auburn, for saying. We got Cam Newton. Now, none of them coaches were there when Cam was there, but you know, we got the film. You know, we can.
But see, this is the thing that's killing me. Once again, go listen to the interview over at our Patreon where he flat out said, I'm going to talk to other schools. He flat out said it. And this was like the beginning of this year. Like, yeah, I'm going to continue to talk to coaches. Yeah, that I have relations. Yeah.
Because he said that he has a great relationship with Marcus Freeman, and Marcus Freeman treats him like family. That was his. He said, yeah, because remember, Deuce was never about NIL.
Deuce
was never about. I mean, he probably is about NIL, but
we have to learn this. We have to learn this moving forward because this is what we asked for. Left, we asked for big time recruiting at Notre Dame. We asked Marcus Freeman to take the recruiting to the next level. Recruit the kids in the South, recruit the kids in Florida, Georgia, Texas. Go get the 4 5-star kids. Go after those kids that the predecessor wouldn't go after, right? And in doing so, the game changed while we asked that, and this is what you get. And yet, Duce Knight is not the only big-time player. He ain't doing this. He's not the only one. We just watched Dylan Raiola last year play musical chairs at the quarterback position, knowing the whole time he was going to end up in Nebraska. Just driving up the price.
Knowing the whole time.
Just driving the game. Don't hate the player. It's the game now. It's the game that's messed up. The game is messed up. The game is messed up, and it sucks. And I know Notre Dame fans don't like it. You don't have to like it. You shouldn't like it. I'm not telling you to like it. I'm just saying it's the game now. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. He said it. He said he's going to continue to talk. So, now it's about either your word is going to mean something or it's not. That's his choice to make, not my choice to make. But what I'm not about to do is I'm not about to just go down the road to Z. I might stop at M, maybe L, M, N, O. I'm not going to A to Z. I'm not doing that. Because what you do then is you try to paint this young man and his character a certain way. And I'm not doing that. Young people get that done to them too much in life. I'm not doing that. Because I'm not around for conversations. I don't know what the conversations are, bro. I don't know what the conversations were at Auburn. If and when he goes to Miss Ole Miss, I don't know what the conversations are. I don't know what he's telling Notre Dame. I don't know what he's saying and what he's being told by his parents. I don't know. My hope is, my hope is that he has great direction, regardless of
honestly, that's it. That's all you can want, man.
And I tell people all the time, my dad was a high character individual, high integrity. And my pops would have been all over NIL. All over. As
Mr. Integrity would have been challenged.
But see, this is what he would have made. He said, you're going to be a man in this process.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
Call that coach and tell him the truth. If you want to go take this trip, before you take this trip, call that coach and tell him why you're taking it and deal with the consequences of telling him that you're taking this trip.
I think if Peyton Bowen did that to Marcus Freeman last year, it wouldn't have went like that.
Nobody would have had an issue. Absolutely.
Nobody would. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what.
That's it.
What Deuce.
And honestly, most fans, keep it a buck. Most fans wouldn't have a problem with these.
They wouldn't have. People only had a problem with Peyton on how he did it. No, that's the only kid. But if Deuce was a man about it because he's the number one quarterback, it's like, well, he's the number one quarterback. So it's like, how dare we get upset for him being a man to us? The man telling you, he's like, listen, Coach Freeman, like I said in Lucky Lefty interview.
But we don't know. But see, this is the thing. We don't know the conversations that have taken place.
Right.
Was there a conversation beforehand? Or did
I'm likely to lean on the side of him. Actually, he probably did talk to Marcus Freeman. Because I had a conversation with Ben Morrison and his dad, and they had a recruitment talk. Because Ben was
he was
getting recruited to leave his last year. And Ben's dad, we told you. He said he went in there and met with Marcus Free. Marcus Free said, go and get info and tell me what they didn't do. Yeah. What we need to do better. Go take them calls. How much they want to offer Ben shit? We ain't gonna do that. But go tell it what do we need to put on our radar?
Yeah. And see this, I'm glad you said that, Double R. I'm gonna put Double R's comment on the board because this right here hopefully gives some clarity. It makes you feel I don't care about the decision Peyton Bowen made. It was the line at every stage of the process. And see this I'm talking about, you know how when Rocket would get to Rocket would break through the wedge at the 30 on the Notre Dame 30.
He was lying, though. No. Yeah, he was lying.
Listen to what I'm saying, though, Left. Rocket would break through the wedge at the 30, and you knew it was over. You didn't have to wait. That's soon. You didn't even have to wait for him to cross the 50.
Yeah, you didn't have to wait till he get to the kicker because
Same thing with Devin Hester. If Devin Hester made that one move, okay.
If he get the run looking like he about to do this, he's out of there.
That's how this Peyton Bowen thing was for Ryan and myself. We knew early on this dude ain't nah.
Shit, I think the same situation can apply. Like
we haven't felt that. I didn't feel that with Deuce interviewing him.
I feel like Deuce would be the guy to be like, Coach, I love you like family, man, but I just want to take this visit to clear my mind, this, that, the third, this, that, the third. That's the Deuce type personality I get from him. Like he's big enough to be like, Coach, man, you my guy. Hit you one of them. I love you, big dog. He's like, I don't want you looking at this no type of way.
Yes, we can get to semantics. Whether you feel like phone call shit, and we don't know. There's only reports, right?
We don't know.
We can say it being in order, there should have been a call before to enlighten, right? Or if a call came out, we can argue that.
Hell, that should have been the conversation Dante had too.
This is my point, Left. When you get through, when you do talk to him, is he telling you the truth? That's all that matters. Semantics before, after, when you do talk to him.
And he looks you in the eye.
Is he telling you the truth? That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all that matters. Right. I don't care when the phone call came, what's being said. Is it truthful? And how do you move? We said this before. It doesn't matter who comes at him. You have to fight to keep him all the way to December. We said that months ago.
Yes, we said this is months ago. It said dotted line sign. Then you can be like, okay.
This is no surprise. No, please. Notre Dame did not get caught slipping.
No.
Not details.
Not with Duce.
If people want to report they got caught slipping with details and all that, I promise you, Notre Dame didn't get caught slipping. They should have expected this type of fight.
They thought Notre Dame thought they was gonna sneak away a 5-star. Come on,
no.
Deuce is not one of these recruits that we 3-star undiscovered. He's gonna be big. Da, da, da. No, this the top of the top. It's the top of the top. So
right?
regardless of how you think you got him.
Yeah.
The signing day, Deuce could be like, man, I'm out of. He'd take the hat, throw the hat off. You know how they be dramatic. They take the hat. No, I don't like that one. And then pick up Notre Dame hat. No, I don't like that one. And type shit. So yeah, he could do all of that.
Hey, if Drake sent me first class tickets on United Airlines, and right now you know how I feel about United Airlines right now, Left. If Drake sent me first class tickets on United Airlines and tickets to Caravana to watch him perform on stage, do you think I would go?
Yes.
Absolutely. I would tell the missus we going.
We going.
I'm still Team Kendrick, but are we going to this? We're going to this.
Our boy Drake? Yeah, our boy Drake. Yeah, we're going.
You're darn right we're going. And what surprises me is that people are surprised that a trip or a visit would happen. Like, why is that shocking?
Yeah, why
was it so jarring? Like, we can get caught up in the details. This didn't happen. This is being reported. Well, I feel like it should have happened this way. Well, it would have been more integrity if it had been done this way. Man, we knew that he was going to keep talking to schools because he said it. He said it on this podcast. He said it. Neither one of us thought Notre Dame was just going to skip through the field of lilies.
Ain't nobody love Notre Dame that much.
No. All the way to the finish line.
And you know why? The difference is too, Deuce don't have no baby picture of him growing up with a Brady Quinn jersey on, like every other quarterback we've had since me. Every quarterback since me, always during some part of the year in the little commercial timeout where they bring up some graphics, they bring up the quarterback with his 10 jersey on. I'm like, all of y'all live the same life? Do we only recruit kids with it?
Do people forget that Notre Dame had to fight to keep Jeremiah Love in the class? I guess people forget that.
Yeah.
And Ryan and I said, yo, Notre Dame's going to have to fight. I know he committed. Notre Dame's going to have to fight. Everybody can't be Drake Bowen, man. From the moment Drake Bowen committed to Notre Dame, he was locked in. He was flat out locked in. Drake everybody
Bowen,
can't be a Drake Bowen.
Drake Bowen was coming home. That's all that was. He said, I'm coming home. I'm going there.
Absolutely. Locked in.
I don't even think I knew what other Drake schools was interested in. Maybe Alabama because he got some family from there, but that was about it.
Yeah.
He just comes off as a Notre Dame commit. Like, oh, I'm going away.
And then, like Ryan Roberts said, dude, on the podcast, once again, he talked about Cam Newton being a quarterback. Like, dude, this is not information that people should not have known.
It's not rocket science.
Of course. I guarantee you, when he went to this camp, this recent camp, I guarantee you Cam Newton's team was down there, and I guarantee you Cam Newton had a conversation.
100%.
100%.
As vocal as Cam is, Cam
Absolutely.
probably grabbing around the neck. What's up, dude? Like,
Absolutely.
One of them. Like.
Miami literally, facts. I know what I'm talking about. Miami literally sent every University of Miami player that resides in the city of Chicago at Justice Scott. All of them. All of them had his number, called him.
We're going to flood him. Yes. He gonna say, I've seen all of them.
Yes. They ran an all-out assault on that kid. Yes.
It's hard sell. It's a hard sell. Yeah.
Yes. You darn right.
College football 25. They call that not the soft sell, the hard sell.
Darn right. So yes, they're going to pull out all of the stops. Cam Newton will definitely be calling, texting, whatever.
No, they done sit the house.
Man, did you not expect this? Yes, I expected this. Notre Dame was not like Drake in that beef. They didn't get caught sleeping. I promise you. Notre Dame knew they had to fight for this kid. They know.
I don't think Notre Dame realized that, because we love to rest on some morals.
I disagree, Left. They knew.
No, I'm saying
we can sit here and hope.
Deuce is different, but everybody else has been like, "Oh, we giving you the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket, and you're not taking it." Oh, word, you're not.
And I have no problem with everybody saying there's no way a kid like Deuce is going to Notre Dame because we haven't seen it. I have no problem with the skepticism. We ain't seen it. True.
What you mean?
I have no problem with the skepticism. None. Absolutely none. None. And until it happens, you won't be able to shut people up until it happens. It is what it is. It is what it is. I can say all I want to, Left. You know how it is, bro. I can sit here and be like, man, look, I'm a humble dude. I'm about relationship. I'm really not about money like that. It's not my main priority. And then somebody lays that check in front of me. And all of a sudden, that whole foundation of everything I said is tested. Some people can stand tried and true. And some people get real shaky. They get real shaky, bro. They get real shaky and forget what they said.
And it's like, come on, man. We talking about 18-year-olds getting offered a whole bunch of money they ain't never had before. That's a hard sell for anybody to deny. So these are still kids making kid decisions. We just hope that, like you said, Shaun, from the very beginning, you hope that it's guided the right way. We don't care where you go, honestly, Deuce. We don't care where you go. We would love for you to come to Notre Dame. We just want you to be guided the right way.
No, we care. We care. Hold on now. I'm gonna be honest.
Obviously, when you go to Notre Dame,
yeah, you darn right.
It's the same care as how LeBron cared about Bronny going to the league.
No, that was misguided. But go ahead. That's a bad example. That's a horrible example.
No, wait,
go ahead. Go ahead with your point.
The famous commercial is his mom was like, "Yeah, I just want to be happy." That was like,
she ran from her script.
No, I want to go to the.
She said what she was supposed to say as a mom. Absolutely. Absolutely. But see,
LeBron like, no, I want him to go to the league. I want him to be big.
We can close out this Deuce conversation by saying this, Left. You know the big joker Notre Dame has? Go slap Texas A&M around the SEC country game 1. Let Riley Leonard throw for 260, 280 with 3 touchdowns. Do that.
He's got to hit.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
You want to speak to Deuce Knight? You want to talk to him?
Riley Leonard got to have 400 yards in that first game.
Do that. Go spank. Go spank these dudes.
Not just a team win. Riley Leonard
come back the next 3 games and put up 40, 45 against meager talent. Meager teams. That's what you do. You want to let them know this is what you do here. This is what's being set up on the platter for you.
And that's why I feel like it would be hard for Deuce. Deuce doesn't want to go look at this. Like, his excitement was raised when he saw Denbrock was coming in. Naturally, he's like, "Oh shoot, we got Denbrock. Oh, I've seen what he's done." But he's basing that off of Denbrock at LSU. He hasn't been like, "Man, I can't wait to jump in a Jared Parker offense." So when you got that, and then you turn around and Ohio State is showing you clip after clip of every quarterback the last 5 years going crazy. And then you go down to Alabama and you watching every quarterback cut up that the success you wanted to trickle down on you. Yeah. What success is trickling down on Deuce Knight at Notre Dame quarterback room?
I'm LL question of the day. I'm about to get mean for a second. I'm about to allow LL Nation to get mean. Give me your dirtiest pitch against Ole Miss and Auburn. If you're Notre Dame. If you were Notre Dame, give me your dirtiest pitch you would tell Deuce. I'll give you one, Doug. I'll give you one. It's plain and simple. You really want to go play at Ole Miss, bro?
Yeah. Hey, that's an
As
easy
simple as that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
easy.
easy. That's easy.
That's where you want to go? Your best wide receiver just went to Ohio State.
And he was a running back, Judikins.
Is that really where you want to go? You really want to go to Alabama and be the second best team in the state?
No. Alabama's even easier. You gonna let Alabama offer the other quarterback in the state of Mississippi and not you?
Oh.
What you think they telling you? They said the guy that's in your state, in your city, that's ranked number 1 over you.
Why would you go?
He's going for it.
They trying to make you another Cam. Why don't you come be yourself right here
Come
in
be
Notre Dame?
yourself.
Come be yourself.
Come here.
Stop trying to be they want to make you a carbon copy. Come be you. You one of a kind.
Honestly, the canvas is open at Notre Dame, like I told you.
Oh man, why?
Instead of going, there's the 2 things you want to achieve or try to achieve if you're in this country. One is to be the president, and one is to be Notre Dame quarterback, because they both are the same. It's the same benefit. You win a championship at Notre Dame as the quarterback, and you're halfway decent guys was getting drafted at quarterback just for wearing the jersey. The 10 on Brady Quinn's jersey is more iconic than Brady Quinn. That number and that specific jersey has stand decades. That's still people's number 1 favorite jersey, and probably never watched a Brady Quinn game in their life. That 10 Notre Dame jersey is like you put that in the time capsule of what makes Notre Dame football.
Little kids still wear their jersey.
Kids still wear the jersey today. So it's like, yes, that's what you want. And Brady Quinn didn't win not 1 championship. Hell, not to talk bad about Brady, but we've seen a lot of success quarterbacks had in college football.
See, this is the thing. See, I would go deeper, right? It's not just the fact that do you really want to play at Ole Miss? Name me a Ole Miss quarterback. Name me one. You got to go all the way back to Archie Manning. Is that how far you going back? Name me one.
Name me one.
Name me one. Name me one. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then
Name me one.
The best part too is that Notre Dame was just the opportunity. It's like that. It's like the same as what they say, the American dream. Notre Dame, in the college football perspective, is the American dream. Going to Notre Dame, all your dreams can come true, and that's a fact. Now, how accurate is that? That's like you said, it's based on you. It's one of those things where you go and there's no ceiling on Notre Dame. There's no ceiling on it. Now you go to Ohio State, that's a 7-floor mansion, but it got a ceiling on it. It's a nice mansion, 7 floors. It's nice. But it's got a ceiling on it. You go to Notre Dame, ain't no ceiling on that thing. They can keep going up and up and up and up and up. So that's what makes it scary, but also a great offer. Scary because if you're just looking up and you just keep going, if you get too high up, you look down, you're like, oh, that's pressure. That's playing on national television every week. That's signing the 3-game contract to change the program's perspective moving forward. That's why it's no ceiling. You get to Ohio State, the ceiling is the Big Ten championship, and you have to win 1 game because all the other games don't equal up to enough. And that's against Michigan. After that, your first and last game are the most important games of the season. And then you get to the Big Ten championship. You go to Ohio State to beat Michigan. That's why you go to Ohio State. You go to Auburn to beat Alabama. You go to Notre Dame to win a championship. See, it's different. It's a whole, it's different. Why is Ryan Day about to get fired from Ohio State and he's like 30-2? Because you go to Ohio State to beat Michigan, period. They don't give a damn that you done went 40-0. You are 40-2, and now you're on the hot seat of getting fired. That's why you go to Ohio, not to win no championships.
And then let me, for people like, well, you're not gonna win a national championship at Notre Dame. You ain't winning one at Auburn. you ain't winning one at Auburn. Not in this new SEC, bro. It's not happening. You ain't doing that.
At the new SEC, too big. Too big.
Matter of fact,
big.
Hugh Freeze gonna mess around and have y'all on restrictions in like 3 or 4 seasons.
Because the conference has gotten too big because you got Texas and Oklahoma in there now.
Yes.
Where recruiting tactics are even worse.
Yes.
So there's going to be about 3 or 4 college major head coach scandals in the SEC every year.
The NCAA is setting it up. When this $600 NIL stipulation goes into play,
they say, come on in, come on, make all these bad decisions so we can just start laying the hammer on you guys.
You already see they're talking about a 1 to 2 year postseason ban on Michigan already.
They setting it up so we go have this playoff system, and now we can dictate who gets in and who gets out.
Which plays into this is why the disrespect of having a certain quarterback before Cam Newton on this top 20 list. That man, look, Auburn ain't sniffed nothing since that man left. Absolutely nothing. Well, Nick, what's the other quarterback in your class? Wasn't Nick in your class that took them to against Jameis when they faced Jameis? Nick, what's his last name? The Auburn quarterback. Why am I drawing a blank?
Nick Marshall. That was 2011, 2012.
Was he before you or after you?
He was before me, but right on the same timeline.
Right.
So I'm like, because I remember Nick, because this is when college football was still, if you could run the football, you'll be good. So Nick Marshall was perfect because he couldn't throw, but for what they did offensively and where defenses were at that time, man, Nick Marshall was the man. It was, but that's where that was the era. Nick Marshall was the era of a Darren Thomas at Oregon. Remember Darren Thomas? He was nice. Man, it's the nostalgia from the era of 2010. That whole thing was nice, man. Can't beat that. That's the last era when football was still football. Now with money injected into it.
What are you trying to say, bro? He said that's when football was football.
So when you was in high school sports, at that time, that was the most authentic that the sports could be. And that the generations after you, it's just getting softer and softer. They don't get harder and harder; it gets softer and softer.
Yeah. I agree with that. So hopefully, we help you guys kind of gain an aerial view of what's really going on. We're not about to sit here and just hypothesize like what could be, what might be happening, what this might mean. Conversations have been had. The conversations that have been reported, that have been had with Notre Dame, regardless of when they took place, is that, I'm still locked in. That goes right along with what was told to Malik in their conversation. So I don't know what else to say, but I think we all knew, everybody that was realistic knew that this day was coming.
Yeah, everybody
this type of news was
real,
coming, right? Everybody saying Notre Dame's not going to be able to keep it. We all knew this was coming.
We all know.
And I hope people didn't really believe that this is about to be CJ Carr all over again, a kid that's just locked in.
Absolutely not.
No, I think CJ Carr, it was rumored he went to a Michigan game and cats almost lost their minds. Like, oh my God, like his grandfather actually coached there. Like,
he's actually like on the walls at Michigan. Like they revere this guy. So, because my thing is that, like, listen, that's why I say it's one of the 2 best jobs in America. Either president of the United States or quarterback in Notre Dame. Because look at how the fans react just to that. You have a whole legacy family that played at Michigan. You go to just visit your grandpa. You just visited your grandpa. Anybody lose their mind. So best friends in the world, but most delusional sometimes too.
Hey, man. But, you know, and I'll be honest. Okay, it's SEC schools, it's Ole Miss. All right. It's Auburn. All right.
75, 66, 75, 66, 75, 66.
If we were talking about Texas, I might be a little more shook. Maybe.
Well, I wouldn't be sure. They got Arch over there still? Oh no, you.
Yeah, but the fact that it's Sark, I'll be like, okay, all right.
Or even a Lincoln. I know Lincoln wouldn't really want this, but a Lincoln would have me worried.
And I'm not trying to minimize it at all. I'm just saying other things or other programs would have me a little bit more like, oh.
But it tells you the type of guys that are what they're looking for. They're looking for a coach that can extend them into the league. Cardell Tate was looking at receiver coaches. He wasn't looking at touchdown Jesus and the brochures and the classes you could take and all the amenities. He said, what coach can get me to the next level? So if Deuce, I don't think Deuce was thinking what coach can get me there, because I think Deuce thinks he can get there himself with a good team around him. So I wouldn't be concerned about a specific quarterback coach or a team, but a good offense because of how Deuce has been moving. He's coming to something that we haven't showed enough offensively, in my opinion, where we're just grabbing 5 stars, best quarterback in the country.
And then you just never know the influence. This is big picture, not just Deuce, just large, man. You just don't know the influence of these parents and how they view things and how they think things should go and how that plays into the decisions that young men make. And then they allow the kids to take the brunt and they stay fresh and clean in the background, you know, like the outcast. And it's like, yo, like you just never know. Like I said, we just never know the type of conversations that are taking place surrounding this thing. And you talked about Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate told us, look, man, Carnell Tate told us so much off the record that he flat out told us off the record how Brian Kelly treated his mother. God rest her soul. He literally told us, yo, I'm fighting to get my mother to let me take this official because Brian Kelly treated her like trash. Facts. He literally told us that. I had to beg my mother to take off work to go take the official visit to Notre Dame because of that. On her 2 visits to Notre Dame for games, she felt like she got treated and ignored by the head coach. Do you think his mother's not going to have an influence on where he goes? Ladies and gentlemen, we just never know. We don't, man. We don't. And from what we've heard and what's been reported, I know Ryan Roberts talked about it. His parents have been one of the biggest assets. They love what parent? 95% of the time, parents are going to love Notre Dame. Love Notre Dame. You know, so it's just a situation Notre Dame finds themselves in. Fight of their life to land a 5-star top 50 quarterback that has taken off, absolutely taken off this summer. Congratulations on your NIL deal, by the way, to Deuce Knight. Congratulations. Lucky Lefty podcast. ESPN released its top 20 players left. Top 20 players in the 21st century in college football. Ndamukong Suh, number 1. Baker Mayfield, number 2. Cam Newton, number 3. Vince Young, number 4. Ed Reed, number 5. Tim Tebow, number 6. Reggie Bush, number 7. Brian McKinney, number 8. Joe Burrow, number 9. Larry Fitzgerald, number 10. Terrell Suggs, number 11. Joe Thomas, number 12. Khalil Mack at 13. 14, Aaron Donald. 15, David Pollock. 16, Deshaun Watson. 17, Roy Williams. 18, Kyler Murray. 19, Devontae Smith. 20, Lamar Jackson. 21, Justin Blackman. 22, Will Anderson. 23, Tyrann Mathieu. 24, Julius Peppers. 25, Jonathan Taylor. We can start right at the top, left. We lost him for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'll make this short and quick. Baker Mayfield is not number 2. Somebody had to be in the midst of a session to think that Baker Mayfield was the second best player in college football in the 21st century. I can't even take the list. I can't even take it seriously. I can't even take the list seriously after that. I can't. And after that, I think the list was solid. But Baker Mayfield at 2? How do you have Baker Mayfield in front of Tim Tebow? And I think Tim Tebow is ranked accurately. How do you have Baker Mayfield in front of Tim Tebow and Cam Newton? How? Don't come to me about stats, accumulation of stats. Just watch them play the game. Who dominated? Who? You tell me who was better. You come away thinking Baker Mayfield was better at the game of college football than Cam Newton and Tim Tebow. There's a greater discussion that needs to take place. I'm sorry. That's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. You lost me right there. You lost Ed Reed, in my opinion, I would put Ed Reed 3rd or 4th. I feel like he was that impactful. I really do. Cam Newton will have an argument for number 1 with me. 2, I have to think about it because, see, this is the trick. It's very easy to immediately go to how they played in the pros. You really have to focus on what you saw from these players in college. So I saw some people. David Pollack was a beast at Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Like, don't get it twisted. NFL career, questionable. University of Georgia, he was a dude. He was an absolute monster. Monster at Georgia. Monster. Now, I'm going to be honest. Be flat out honest. Joe Burrow would go, Joe Burrow was a better quarterback in college than Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just sorry. I watched both of them play. Joe Burrow was, come on, man. Baker Mayfield wasn't walking into Alabama against Nick Saban and lighting the scoreboard up. That doesn't happen. Everybody talks about Baker Mayfield going to Ohio State, planting the flag there after win. Dude, Ohio State literally beat you at home the previous year with a young team. You got some get back. Okay. How does Trevor Lawrence not enter this conversation? How does Trevor Lawrence not enter this conversation? How? Justin Blackman, that's questionable. Ladies and gentlemen, they have Lamar Jackson at 20. Are you kidding me? Lamar Jackson is the 20th best college football player in the 21st century? 20th best? What are we talking about? You have Lamar Jackson at 20? I can't take this. I can't. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what the criteria was. I hopefully they weren't doing analytics and stats. Hopefully they had some eyes and they actually watched some games. But there's no Baker Mayfield needs to flip. He needs to be outside the top 10. Baker Mayfield was not a better college quarterback than Lamar Jackson. No. You put Baker Mayfield at Louisville, he's not doing what Lamar Jackson did. He's not. He's just not. Vince Young, look, man, I would think long and hard about putting Vince in front of Cam. I really would. Because they both got the job done. But Cam was just so magnanimous, man, that one year. And it was Auburn. Vince Young was at Texas, surrounded by elite talent. What Cam did at Auburn is absolutely, man. And Sue was crazy. To even be in the Heisman race at the defensive tackle position is dumb. Larry Fitzgerald, big time player, man. People forget how dominant Terrell Suggs was at Arizona State coming off the edge. He was, man. People doubted him because of his lack of size going to the NFL. He went to the perfect situation in that Ravens defense. Perfect situation. And got at it as T Sizzle. Joe Thomas was dominant. I'm with that. Aaron Donald, I always tell the story of watching him play Notre Dame, and he didn't flash as much, so I really didn't think he was the dude. But hey, I understand. The list, there's some things about the list that I like. But those are the two major. Lamar Jackson being at 20, Baker Mayfield being at 2. Come on, man. We need to retract this list, make some amendments, some changes, and put out another one. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Sorry for the mix-up once again. It was my fault. Absolutely my fault. I put the wrong time, got messed up with my time zones and communication with Malik. The show was always supposed to be at 4:30. I put 3:30. For those of you that jumped in at 3:30, I apologize. Totally my fault. Simple mistake. Thank you for tapping in with us. Go right now. CFB Nation audio edibles every day. Apple Podcast, Spotify, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Lucky Lefty Pod. Follow our story. We post a lot of videos, recruiting news, other things. LuckyLeftyPod.com. Malik is going to be releasing a lot of stories, breaking down games over at Lucky Lefty Pod starting in the season. So get connected, LuckyLeftyPod.com. Don't forget and you can find all of our merch over there at LuckyLeftyPod.com. YouTube, subscribe, share. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Helps with the views. And then leave your comments and your questions. We respond to all. Thank you guys for joining us today. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Lucky Lefty Podcast. First day of practice, man. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about. We'll get at it tomorrow right here. Most of all, make sure you continue to spin it different.